Hello, Gary Hernandez, and welcome to Cane Self-Defense with Master Gary Hernandez. In this video, we're going to go old school. And what I mean by that is basically we're going to look at one of the basic canes that have been around for a while. The pharmacy cane. Well, at least that's what I like to call it. Because you can pick this up at any pharmacy, CVS, Walgreens, anywhere. Now, the reason I'm going to talk about this cane today is I had a couple people email me. And they said that they like to carry the cane they've gotten from the pharmacy, and they described it to me. And this is what they like to carry, and they want to know if there's any way they might be able to even use it for self-defense. And I asked them, well, why do they like to carry it so much? And they gave me two basic reasons. One of them was, well, three really. One guy goes, because it's cheap. But the other ones were telling me, because number one, it's extremely light. And this is a very light cane. And number two, you can loosen it up and you can adjust it for whatever height you want and then tighten it up. So it's lightweight, it's adjustable, and it's very reasonably priced. So, and it works great for basic mobility. So in a nutshell, absolutely, yes, that works perfect for all this. But for self-defense, I'm going to go ahead and go over that in just a minute. Now, what I did was I said, well, I have to pick one up and kind of kick the tires on it, and which I did. When I went to the pharmacies like CVS, they were going from anywhere from $17 to $22 for this style cane. Well, I looked online, I found one with free shipping for $12. And this is the, let me read the name real quick. This one is the Mackenzie offset handle cane. It adjusts between 30 to 39 inches. Comes with a little lanyard here and a rubber grip for your hand. And so it's light and adjustable, and it was reasonably priced. So that worked out fine. But the thing about this cane I wasn't a big fan of is being that it's very light and it's aluminum, it's going to not hold it very well in self-defense unless I have no option, then I'm going to use it. So in self-defense, you may not have an option. Now this will get people off you if you hit them in the right spots. And I'm going to show you a couple different areas that you can do this in. So give me a hand, it's going to be Mr. Billy, and then I'm going to kind of tell you some of the things about it I don't like. Now, the first thing you see in this cane, when you look at it, is from the top of the handle going down, the shaft is going to be completely different in the first section of that. When it goes from the crook here, it goes straight down. When it goes from the handle here, it curves around and goes down. Now, when you're walking for mobility, that means nothing for me. It might mean for other people, for me it doesn't, because it supports my weight. But if I'm chambering down for self-defense, that's when I have a problem. From here, when I chamber down on a standard cane and pick it up, you can see how well it holds. When I chamber down with this one and pick it up in the same location, you notice the difference in the cane itself because of that bend. Now you could chamber all the way down, pick up, and now you have it where you can strike. But I've kind of found a way for a quick strike to get around that, where I didn't have to bend as much. When I chamber down and pick it up, I actually turn it a bit. Now this is kind of good and bad. It's good for the fact that I don't have to bend all the way down. I pick up the cane, I have more cane, and I can strike with it up and down and move with it, and I can hit. But if you have an injured wrist or something, you're going to feel that because I'm supporting it a little bit with my wrist. So that's kind of my wrist into my forearm. So that's not going to be good if you have a bad wrist. Even though I got my forearm on it, my wrist is close. But it does allow me for a quick strike into someone's head or someone's knee. I wouldn't really strike a big 250-pound guy in the body with this because I don't think it's going to hurt him that much. Might piss him off, but if I hit him in the head, it's going to cause a little bit of injury or a pretty good amount to allow me time to get away or do something different. Now, it does hold out well when I'm doing a bayonet strike. So if I'm doing a bayonet strike into an individual, it'll work well. If I go into a rifle strike, it's going to work well too because I'm holding it kind of in close. Now, the tip works really good into the body, as I was saying. Now with the handle part, this right here is going to work well into the face, into the throat. If he's throwing a haymaker into the armpit area to knock him down, the shoulder area, I can go into the groin, so it's going to definitely hold out pretty good. Now with the handle being curved, and it allows me, if he throws a punch and I redirect it, I can hook him and I can bring him in. So it does hook pretty decent. If I hooked him around the neck, I can bring him in and follow up with something else. Come this way a little bit, Billy. I can hook him around the knee. I can come this way. I can even hook him in the groin, and I can pull up. So it does hold for hooking and pulling. But notice where I'm holding. I'm going to hold past where, if I push, loosen it, push, and separate, this will come out. Well, I don't want to take a chance, 200-some pound guy, putting a lot of stress on that. So I'll kind of hold it here. That's going to allow me to do that. Now, it holds up pretty good if I'm doing a hammer, because I can, with this aluminum part here, even though it's hollow, it's still pretty decent striking. So if I'm hitting them, so if I'm hitting them in the head, that's going to hurt them. If I'm hitting them in the face, that's going to hurt them. And the body, sting them a little bit, and the knees might sting them a bit. Again, this is extremely light. It doesn't say how much it weighs, and I'm pretty, it's light. So the lanyard, that's the first thing I'm going to lose. If I'm going to carry this for self-defense, I understand the concept of it, which is really good. If I have to carry it for mobility, it falls out of my hands. I haven't lost it. I don't have to bend. I recovered it, and that does its job perfectly. But if somebody grabs it and pulls, he kind of offsets me a bit, and I could be pulled in. Now, it's probably not super strong. If he pulled hard and I pulled hard, I'm pretty sure we're going to snap it off. So there goes that. But if he just happens to pull it a little bit, and you can hear it pulling, it'd probably break if he pulled any harder, but it started to pull me offset anyway. Now I weigh 230, so anybody lighter is going to pull them pretty easily. So I really don't think that's a good idea. Thank you, Billy. So overall, for swinging, because it's basically hollow aluminum, go to the head. That's going to be your best self-defense bet. For tuning two-hand bayonet strike into the solar plex, that's going to work. Using the other end, which gives you more surface strikes, into the face or throat, that's going to work. Hitting him in the groin, that's going to work. Into the knee, I actually would rotate if I had the opportunity and hit him with this part into the knee versus this, because you're going to get probably a couple of decent strikes, but it's going to bend. I can tell you that right now, just by holding it, it's going to bend. So overall, for mobility, for around town, it's great. For self-defense, it's going to be your throwaway cane. 1 or 2 hits and that's it. But you know what? You can buy, it's still $12. You can buy another cane. One of the things I don't like also is the fact that my hands start sweating because of that aluminum. It starts to shift on me. So if my hands are wet or I'm sweating, I'm not going to have such a good grip. If it's super cold, this is going to get super cold. If it's super hot outside, it's going to get super hot. So one of the things you can do, obviously, is you can go with Ranger bands, or you can go with electrical tape, or anything you want to go ahead and put around here to give you a better grip and hold. And being that you can adjust it, worst case, I can always take it apart and strike and use it as a double fighting baton, So I can do that as well. But in a nutshell, you can do some self-defense with it, but I wouldn't consider it your primary self-defense weapon. So hopefully that information helps you guys. Gary Hernandez, thank you, and I will see you guys very soon.